We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods are good for you.
Welcome to Storytime Cooks, where we learn about food through books. Today we're going to be reading Too Many Pears. This story is by Jackie French, illustrated by Bruce Watley, and this is a book that is published by Star Bright Books. Pamela likes pears, and Pamela is a cow. She's actually a Holstein cow. That's the kinds of cows that have black and white spots. Pamela liked fresh pears, and we like fresh pears too. We're going to be talking about all different kinds of pears today. She liked pears even more than Amy did, and I think Amy must be who lives with Pamela. And there's Pamela eating a pear. Pamela liked pears for lunch, and all the children are at school sitting down, and school has started back. That kind of looks like a lunchroom, but I don't think we would see a cow in our lunchroom. But Pamela is eating his pear. Pamela liked pears on picnics. She took a whole basket of pears. Pamela liked stewed pears with ice cream too. Pamela is just enjoying all kinds of pears. She liked pear pie with whipped cream. And I've never had pear pie, but it might be like an apple pie. Pamela liked picking pears. So did Amy and Grandma. We have to save our pears, cried Amy. Pears are my favorite. Amy picked lots of pears, but Pamela picked even more. Pamela just reaches up and grabs them off the tree with her mouth. So Grandpa built a fence around the pear tree, but Pamela crawled through a wombat hole under the fence. I didn't know cows could crawl through holes and come up on the other side. She is really a special cow. And poor Grandpa's looking like, I did all this work, and Pamela tricked me. Grandma tied Pamela up. But Pamela took the tree pear picking too. She pulled the tree right out of the ground. Cows must be really strong. She must be a big cow. And if you'll look real close, there's a bird in this tree that's going pear picking with Pamela. We'll never get any pears, everyone moaned. I know what to do, declared Amy. And it looks like she has had a thought. A light bulb has gone off. Sometimes that's what we say when you think of something. So Amy set the table for Pamela. There were brown pears and green pears. There were yellow pears. There were red pears. There were pears and chocolate sauce. There were baked pears and pear cream cake and a dish of pears as high as the roof. Do you think Pamela is going to enjoy all these pears? Pamela smiled. She was excited. She ate one pear, and then she ate another pear, and another pear, and another pear, and another pear, and another, and another. Oh my goodness, she might be getting a tummy ache if she eats all those pears. Pamela ate 600 pears. That's a lot of pears. And then she stopped. Pamela wasn't smiling anymore. How do you think Pamela might feel after she's eaten 600 pears? She might feel a little sick. The next day, Grandpa opened the gate for Pamela. Look at all the lovely pears, Pamela, Grandpa said. But Pamela wasn't interested. I think she might have had her fill. Pamela was grazing at the apples. So she moved on from pears to apples. And if we think about how pears grow, it's kind of like an apple. So it's going to grow on a tree, and sometimes the trees are really tall, and sometimes they're not so tall. But the trees are going to give us pears. This tree actually is an apple tree, like Pamela was searching for the second part of the book. But in the story, she ate lots and lots of pears. She ate brown pears, and this is called a Bossack pear, and it's really firm. And if we let pears sit out for a while, they will get soft. And when they get softer, that's when they're more ripe and they're more delicious. This is a Bartlett pear, and they get soft a little bit quicker than these brown pears do, but these keep longer. And this is a pear that actually grew on a tree here locally, and it's more of a green pear. So when you think about pears, there's all different shapes and colors and sizes of fresh pears, but if we don't have fresh pears, we can always get canned pears. And our pear bear loves pears almost as much as Pamela, I think. And he's got a pear, but we could have a canned pear, either sliced or halved. And we like to get pears that are in 100% juice. That's a good way to get pears. And if you don't need a whole can of pears, you can also get these little cups of pears. And these pears are delicious if you have those in your lunchbox. So that might be something to try. One of my favorite things to do is to take a half a pear and put some cottage cheese after you put it on the plate and make a little salad out of it. So that might be something you would like to try as well. When we think about pears, they're actually one of the fruits from the fruit group. So it would be this red section of our plate. And if we did put that cottage cheese in there, that would come from the dairy section. So those are both things that would be healthy for us and taste yummy too. We hope you don't eat as many pears as Pamela did, but try to enjoy some. This is a good time of year. That's when they're ripe locally, and it might be something that you could add to your diet that you would enjoy. I hope you'll come back and join us again next week as we continue to learn about food through books in Storytime Cooks.
We love food colored green, bell peppers and long string beans, pickles, celery, cucumbers too. All these foods are good